I'm so excited to share with you my story and where I came from and then where I am now, and how physically where I came from and where I am now goes along with spiritually where I was and where I am now, you know? I'm 19 years old, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm a musician. And I was born in Romania. I was born without arms, and when I was born, there was a superstition in the village that I was born in where when a baby was born, you guys can see me, it's pretty cool, not perfect. That's me doing quotes. When a baby is born not perfect, then they are believed to be cursed by God. And that was what everyone thought of me as when I came back to the village. I was a curse. And my family knew that, and they didn't believe that, but they knew that's what I was destined to be called for the rest of my life. So they sent me to an orphanage. And a year and a half later, I was adopted through Bethany Christian Services. And that's why I want to give that shout out, because of Bethany, because Michael and Sharon Dennehy looked at my little baby picture, and on the baby picture in Bethany it said, healthy baby desperately needs a loving home. And then at the end it did say, this boy will soon die. And there's my birth date, 1/1994. And then on the other side, there was a date that the doctor penciled in where I'd be predicted to be dead. Because I was not taken care of in this orphanage as a baby should be taken care of. That's why when I was 1.5 years old, when I was adopted, I weighed only 9 pounds. And just to give you an image of how I barely made it, you know? But obviously God had other plans. And I love that because adoption is the gospel. We've probably been hearing that a lot. But it's cool because we as humans and we as sinners, we are destined for death because the wages of sin is death, right? And just like I was a little baby, nothing, worthless, a curse on my country, I was not destined to die. And just like my mom and dad came to Romania and saved me and took me out of there, God comes to us and He sees us where we are, sees that we need Him and that we need life, and He comes after us, just like we go after these children that desperately, desperately need us. And it's crazy, and it's just an amazing thing, and I love this. How many people there are? But another great thing about adoption is the things God can do through that. When I was very young, my mom, she noticed that I had a little thing for music. I would watch a movie and then go to the piano and start playing the music from the movie. And she could just tell that there was a little something there that they wanted to progress. So she signed me up for cello lessons. So when I was 8 years old, I started playing the cello. And from that, I branched off to the bass guitar, the piano, the drums, and then also the guitar. And God is crazy because I don't have any arms. I'm just an armless guy. That's my nickname, seriously. But God has allowed me to reach so many people at such a young age. I just graduated high school last year, and from that I've been traveling around the world. I've been back to Romania. I was able to go back to Romania and meet my family and talk. I was on Romanian TV, and I was able to talk about adoption and how adoption has saved my life and how I wouldn't be where I am if not for adoption. And it really hit home in Romania because Romania is really tough on adoption right now. And that just everything that God has allowed me to do in the past 8 months is amazing. And God can seriously use us because for a while in my life, I totally doubted the fact that God had any plan for me. I mean, my thoughts were like, how could a loving God forget to put arms on me? Like, where is the love in that? And then when I was old enough and realized that, read that part in the Bible about the blind man and all that, and that really spoke to me because I realized God really does have a plan for me, and God really does have a purpose for you. And to go with the Orphan Summit, God has a plan for all these orphans, and we may be part of that plan. And I think that's awesome. And we are all adopted. That's one thing I like to say. Adoption is the gospel, and we are all adopted, and we're all part of one family. Thank you.